Well, hi, Cheers, hi, I'm back with the 41 years of Mills and Boone, and it's 4:30, and it's pitch dark out there. I mean, seriously, pitch dark. Okay, so this is interesting. Well, this is actually re-upload. I got a copyright strike. Yeah, for a book review, and if they see this, because I'm just doing the book again because I looked through it and it's claiming his brother's baby by Helen Lacey. Okay, and under the copyright strike, it said it was a title of a book review I did like a while ago. Was under the reason. So I am just. It was taken down. So I'm just redoing the video. This is the second time I've done it. Right. So for those who watched the original before it was taken down, you few but faithful. Okay, thank you for that. I This is the second time. I'm going to be waiting for the strike to expire before I upload this. Let's see if it happens again. And for those who copyright strike me based on a title of a book review that I did a while ago, whatever. Okay, just calling you out on that. Okay, so here we go. Claiming his brother's baby. Tanner McCord returned to Australia to settle his brother's estate, but fall for the woman who'd borne his brother's son. But one look into widow Cassie Duncan's eyes, and Tanner wants to give her everything, including a brand new family. So Doug, the brother has passed away. He passed away when he was serving overseas, leaving Cassie a widow. So Cassie a widow, and it opens up with essentially all this time since his death. Cassie's had her head buried in the sand over money and what to do in the estate and the debts and the bills, and she's got this kind of like rose tinted view of Doug. Okay, Doug. Okay, Doug. Once that title alone, okay, you just know, okay, he's a villain because in the Mills and Boone novel, you get everyone called Doug, who's actually going to be the hero, unlike Tanner. Right, here we go. Right. If only your daddy was here, but Doug was gone, killed 8 months ago while on tour in the Middle East. He never got to see his son born. Now just the two of them, getting through each day. Cassie adored being a mother and loved Oliver more than she'd ever imagined she could love anyone. But she was so sad that Doug would miss seeing her son grow up. Yes. And the fact is that Cassie has this kind of negative view of Tanner because uh, Doug basically said, oh no, he's nothing, he's just a bunch of waste of space, he's like that, he's not close to anyone, because Doug and Cassie, Tanner and Cassie had a connection from their childhoods, but I'll get to that later. Alright, here you go. Alright. This is page 14, okay, when Tanner's turned up at the house, which he had to clearance because he's in charge of the estate, and essentially they can't afford to stay, they're going to have to move on, okay? They weren't friends, they weren't anything. She was Doug's woman. Doug's dead. The mother of his brother's child. It didn't matter that her blue eyes and soft smile invaded his dreams. All the time was pointless. He never acted on it, never give into it, never put himself through the inevitable humiliation of her rejection. Staying in South Dakota and living his life far away from her and Doug had been a sensible option. Right. So the fact is, with a man in the house, they start to bond. They start to kind of connect. And Cass is kind of confused, okay, because she always had this idea, okay, that Tanner, who missed her brother's funeral, so he missed his brother's funeral because he'd had an accident with a horse. He had to scare horses for a living, and he was going through physio. Okay, right, just bit here. But as they're spending so much time together, they start to bond, and Cassie's eyes start to open, okay, to everything that her terrible husband was saying. Here we go. Right. Doug has been a charming one. So many times he said his younger brother was so moody and serious with little time for anyone or anything other than horses and his ranch. The two occasions they'd met, she had no reason to question that description. He hardly spoken to her. No, he'd been polite. There was a cool reserve in the manner. She hadn't taken it personally because Doug had warned her that Tanner wasn't exactly woman-friendly. It made the unexpected spark of awareness, the experience easier to ignore. Then I'm watching him hold Oliver with such open affection suddenly seemed to odds with Doug's description. Yes, Cassie. Yes. Okay? Yes. And the fact is, this entire book is either Cassie and Tanner not wanting to disrespect Doug's memory, where Doug was such an arsehole anyway, okay? I don't even care. Okay? It's the whole kind of We can't do this because of Doug's memory. Okay, Cassie has a late husband on a pedestal. Okay, when he should really be in the gutter. Okay, this bit here. No, Tanner had decided he would be telling Cassie anything about the girl who cheated on him with his brother when she got him pregnant, how Doug had bailed on his responsibility. So in their past, in their teenage years, Doug stole Tanner's girlfriend, got her pregnant and abandoned her, and then she lost a baby. By the way, as I mentioned, he's that low. Okay? When his brother had taken the money put in trust for Tanner when he reached 21, he's defined his partying and gambling. It ended badly for him, for Doug, for everyone. But telling tales wasn't his style, and it had been 12 years ago. There's a point in rehashing old betrayals. Right? Yeah, so this was the kind of guy, okay, that Doug really was. But it's the whole kind of, I don't want you to destroy the memory, okay? But whilst Cassie and Tanner are getting closer, Cassie starts to remember her first ever kiss when she was 13 on the beach. 13 on the beach, okay? You can guess where this one's going, okay? Right. And she starts to remember this, her teenage crush, her teenage kiss, okay? Okay, oh my god, this is so good, try this ridiculous. Right. Suddenly she couldn't pretend it was anything other than raw attraction, chemistry, undeniable and absolutely unwanted. Suddenly from nowhere, sudden memory kicked in. She felt it once long ago. She'd all but forgotten that hot summer when she was 13. She recalled the boy who captured her attention on the beach one late afternoon. Her first crush, her first kiss. Oh yeah, guess where her first kiss was? Another boy on the beach that day called Tanner. Oh god, and do you realise how ridiculous this is? So here is Tanner on this farm in his house, trying to sort it all out. His brother's dead. His brother married the woman who was his first kiss, okay, after stealing his girlfriend and his inheritance. God, Doug's grave, go spin on it. Go spin on it. But the fact is, this book is so long, and all they're doing is retreading the old thing. To one it gets really monotonous. It's kind of like, just be honest with each other, talk to each other, be honest. Destroy Doug's memory. Why not? He was a dick. Okay, right. 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 This bit here, this is when um why Doug and Tanner actually reconnected, okay? 2 years before he had passed, Doug tracked him down. Not long afterwards, Tanner wondered why his brother sought him out. For a man didn't want commitment or anything, or anyone tying him down. He'd worked hard to rekindle their broken relationship. Guilt. He did think that was his brother's sole motivation, but nothing he'd done later in life made Tanner believe that Doug had changed. No one had bought a house he clearly couldn't afford, or wasted money on cars and bikes he never used. No one had secured the love of another woman who would go on to bear his son, and then every intention of casting him aside. No, his brother hadn't changed. But he still grieved the loss of his only sibling, and he still wanted him back so he could tell him what a damned irresponsible fool he was. Yeah, this is the kind of man. Right. So, but the thing is, Cassie and Tanner, they start bonding, they start dating, they start seeing each other. How nice. So then, Cassie finds out after they started hooking up, and you know, Tanner starts to become baby Oliver's father figure in every single way. Okay, right, right, right. And Cassie is so pathetic, it's unbelievable. Okay, it's when she finds out, okay, that Tanner was the boy on the beach. Right. Don't you get, she said, every time I've been around you, I always had this feeling, this sense that I know you. It's twisted at my inside since they first came. You came to visit Doug. I thought that I was just attracted to you, it made me imagine things. And I felt such guilt because I was with Doug, and I shouldn't have been thinking that about someone else in that way in any way. But I wasn't at all. It was a memory of some silly schoolgirl infatuation when I was 13. It was some romantic fancy I created in my head but really swept off my feet and stayed with me all my life. Even when I was with Doug, especially when I was with Doug, I was comparing it to that feeling, that fleeting feeling I had when this lonely, lovely struck 13-year-old crushing on the girl who kissed me for the very first time. So, throughout Cassie's entire marriage with Doug, even though he was hardly ever around, every single time, they were together. She was always comparing them to the feeling she had when she was 13, kissing this mystery boy on the beach. Okay? Every single time. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. But Cassie and Tanner, they start bonding, they start getting on. They agree to start to make it right. They begin to fall in love. They begin to fall in love. Okay? And the fact is that I find Cassie such a hypocrite because she spent her entire time in this book burying her head in the sand. She spent her entire time in this book basically saying what a great guy Doug was, even though he clearly wasn't. Doug, who, when he found out that Cassie was pregnant with his child, he basically was actually going to abandon his family. Okay, he wanted to get out. Okay, he hated it. He hated the feeling. Okay, right. And Cassie's actions here is so really it's here. Okay. Right. And this is when Doug had written Cassie a letter. Basically, it was a Dear John letter saying, I don't care about the baby. I'm leaving you. Yada yada. I'm she's not coming back. I'm done. And Tanner, in his wisdom, which was a dick move to start with, actually burned it. Okay. Right. Right. I don't need protect. I was like, oh, so is this? I was doing it to protect you. I need protecting, she said coldly. All he ever wanted or needed from you was the truth. I'm sorry, Cassie. I knew Doug. This isn't about Doug. Yes, it is, because this entire book is about Doug. He snapped and got to her feet. Don't you get it? This is about you, me, us. This is about you making a decision to lie to me, to treat me like I'm some kind of weakling. You can't handle real life. Well, I'm not. Okay? I'm not weak. I'm not emotional frail. I'm not a pushover. And right now, all I feel is that the world's most gullible fool for believing that you could be trusted, when clearly you can't. Okay. Cassie is a woman who didn't see the truth about Doug. Cassie is a woman who basically believed Doug's manipulations and lies, okay, describing her brother. Cassie has shown basically no backbone up to this point, okay, till Tanner comes in and kind of helped her push her out of that, okay. So even though, and it was a dick move, okay, no, it would have been better. It would have been better if he'd just given her a letter, not burned it, because then she could see for herself what a nasty, conniving bastard her late husband truly was. But he didn't. It's how can I was protecting you? Well, you know something there. Sometimes in life you've got to just rip that band-aid off. Okay? Right. Right. So with Cassie now knowing the truth about her husband and Tanner basically going to leave, okay? Right. It takes Ruthie, who's like a friend of the family, who's known it, okay? Right. 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 And it takes Ruthie to basically say to Cassie, because Doug left them with no money, so it was Tanner who gave her the money, okay? And claimed it was insurance. Let's rip the band-aid off. Nonsense. There was no insurance, no anything. Doug makes sure of that. All he left was a pile of debt and a child he had no intention of claiming. You're not that naive. In your heart, you know better. You know everything you found out about Doug is true. The lies, the betrayal, and the way he stole Tanner's inheritance, frittered away. And tell what he treated Leah, his ex, too. Yep. Right. So, yeah. Everyone is basically saying the truth, but Cass is like, I don't need it. I'm strong, basically, I'm independent. I'm a woman, hear me roar. And it takes everyone to basically say, no, you're not. Everyone was protecting you, really shouldn't. So, and it ends obviously with Cassie and Tanner getting back together and getting married. A little courthouse ceremony and living happy ever after with baby Oliver. Okay. Final thoughts for the 41 years in Mills and Boone. Set in Australia, I didn't really get much Australian vibe from it. I did like how everyone was going on, okay, love, let's protect Cassie. It was really, really annoying. Sometimes I'm thinking, she's like, oh, I miss Doug. I miss Doug. I'm like, he was never around, and when he was around, he was never that interested in you apart from the sex. So there was no point. He never met Oliver. He didn't care. But it's a whole can't destroy this illusion, okay, about Doug, even though he was a terrible human being. So, Claim His Brother's Baby by Helen Lacey. This is the Mills and Boone Cherish. I didn't cherish it, I didn't even like it. 41 years of Mills and Boone. And I'm signing off here. Take care, all. Bye now.